Before Ohtani, before Bonds, before anyone hit 60 home runs in a single season, there was Babe Ruth. He wasn't just baseball's first true superstar. He was the reason the sport survived. A kid from a broken Baltimore neighborhood who turned a troubled childhood into a legend the world still worships a century later. They called him the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout, the Great Bambino.
And in 1933, as in so many other seasons, Babe Ruth was the Sultan of SWAT. He was past his peak, but in the very first All-Star game...
But behind the myth was a man with real demons and unreal power.
Biggest cheers from 50,000 fans go to the immortal star himself, Babe Ruth.
He pitched like an ace, he hit like a god, and he partied like he didn't think tomorrow existed.
The Bambino is still the game's greatest showman, and nostalgia is thick in the vast stadium when he's greeted by another Yankee builder.
So, how good was Babe Ruth, really? And why is his shadow still cast over every bat flip, home run chase, and MVP race in baseball today? This is the story of the man who made baseball immortal. If you love baseball legends and deep dive stories like this one, hit subscribe and join us at FoulBall, where we bring the game's forgotten giants back to life. George Herman Ruth Jr. was born on February 6, 1895 in Baltimore, Maryland. His parents owned a tavern near the Baltimore waterfront, a gritty working-class area. But Ruth's early life was anything but stable. By age 7, his parents couldn't handle his behavior. He was skipping school, drinking beer, chewing tobacco, and getting into street fights. So they sent him to St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys, a reformatory run by Catholic brothers. It was there, locked away behind iron gates, that Ruth's life changed. Brother Matthias Boutelier became his mentor, the man who introduced him to the fundamentals of baseball. He taught him discipline, mechanics, and most importantly, how to harness raw power. Ruth would later say, "Everything I am, I owe to Brother Matthias." At St. Mary's, Ruth learned to pitch, catch, hit, and field. He was a lefty with a whip-quick arm and an uppercut swing that sent baseballs flying into oblivion. By age 19, he was too good to ignore. In 1914, Jack Dunn, owner of the minor league Baltimore Orioles, spotted Ruth during a school exhibition game. He signed him on the spot, but Ruth was still a legal minor, so Dunn officially became his guardian. The team started calling him Dunn's baby. It stuck. He was now Babe Ruth. 5 months later, Dunn sold Ruth to the Boston Red Sox. At first, Ruth was primarily a pitcher, and he wasn't just good, he was elite. In 1916, he posted a 1.75 ERA through 23 complete games and helped Boston win the World Series. The next year, he went 24-13 with a 2.01 ERA. But it wasn't his arm that made fans flock to the stadium. It was his bat. Whenever Ruth played the outfield or pinch hit, he hit balls that left people speechless. Moonshots, towering drives that disappeared into the upper decks or over the fences entirely. In 1918, he hit 11 home runs, which doesn't sound like much today, but the entire league only hit 96 that season. He was literally out-homering entire teams. By 1919, the Red Sox made a bold decision: move Ruth to the outfield full-time so he could hit every day. The results were instant. He hit 29 home runs, breaking the MLB single-season record. But Red Sox owner Harry Frazee was bleeding money and desperate to finance a Broadway play. So in December 1919, he did the unthinkable. He sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees for $100,000, the largest deal in baseball history at the time, plus a $300,000 loan secured against Yankee Stadium. The rest is curse-filled history. Boston wouldn't win another World Series for 86 years. Yankees fans called it the curse of the Bambino. Meanwhile, Ruth was just getting started. In 1920, Ruth's first year as a Yankee, he hit 54 home runs.
Official opening of Yankee Stadium. The Babe bangs one into the right field stands in the very first game played at the Yankees' new home ground.
More than every team in baseball except the Yankees themselves. He drew over 1.2 million fans to Yankee Stadium, nearly doubling attendance from the previous year. He wasn't just a player. He was a cultural event. Ruth transformed the game. Gone was the era of bunting and base stealing. This was the age of power. He pointed to the outfield before at-bats. He waved to the crowd after home runs. He turned baseball into theater. Off the field, he lived wild. Hot dogs, whiskey, women, late nights during Prohibition. But on the diamond, he never stopped performing. In 1921, he hit 59 home runs and drove in 171 RBIs.
And with poetic justice, pulled a home run.
The Yankees won their first pennant. 2 years later, they built Yankee Stadium, 296 feet down the right field line, perfect for Ruth's lefty swing. They called it the house that Ruth built. And in the very first game, Ruth hit the first home run. Then came 1927. Ruth hit a mind-bending 60 home runs. No one else in the American League hit more than 19. That 1927 Yankees team won 110 games and swept the World Series. To this day, many still call them the greatest baseball team of all time. And Ruth, he wasn't just launching balls, he was building a legacy. He finished his career with a 342 batting average, 2,214 RBIs, and 714 home runs. Only Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, and Albert Pujols have passed that number, and only Bonds hit them faster. Ruth averaged a home run every 11.8 at-bats. Aaron, every 16th of April. Pujols, every 14.7. In terms of slugging and OPS, Ruth is still number one. 1.164 OPS across 22 seasons. That's not just elite, that's untouchable. In 1932, during the World Series against the Cubs, Ruth stepped up to the plate. Chicago's dugout was taunting him, calling him fat, old, and washed. He pointed toward center field, then hit the next pitch exactly there. It became known as the called shot. Whether it actually happened or not didn't matter. People believed he did it. And in the world of legends, belief is all that matters. By 1935, Ruth was done. He joined the Boston Braves, hoping to become manager, but the offer never came. His legs were gone, his bat was slow. He hit just 0.181 that season. But on May 25, 1935, in his final burst of greatness, he hit 3 home runs in one game at Forbes Field. The final one, number 714, cleared the stadium roof. No one had ever done that before. Babe Ruth died in 1948 at just 53 years old from cancer. Over 100,000 fans walked past his casket at Yankee Stadium. President Harry Truman called him an American icon. He wasn't perfect, he was flawed, but he was real and larger than life. Babe Ruth didn't just change baseball, he saved it after the Black Sox scandal. He redefined it through power and personality, and he inspired generations to swing big. On the field and in life, even today, when a player hits a 500-foot home run, they're still chasing Ruth's ghost. If this story inspired you, if it reminded you why baseball still matters, then smash that subscribe button, share this video with a friend, and join the growing FoulBall community. Because here, the legends never die.